Welcome to LorDan.
I'm the Lord.
I'm Dan.
LorDan, get it?
And this is your quarantine edition. We are here. We are back. We've been out for a minute, but you know, that's life.
And we're back.
So we're going to talk about life during the pandemic.
Yes, we are.
All right.
So, okay, before we get started, really quick. Okay, I want to talk about this lovely afro I have. Okay, you guys, I've been wanting for the longest for my afro just to be back. Just to be back. Just for me to be able to wear my afro. So, I have my afro back and I am so elated. If you guys see me before, which you didn't, but my edges were like, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I know what happened, but I won't say. It was my fault. I'm a beautician and I know better, but anyway, I was like, Lord, if I could only grow my hair like I do everybody else's hair, and their hair grows, my hair won't grow, and this and this and that. And so the Lord has blessed me to get into my own hair, start doing my own hair, start taking time with my own hair. And my hair has grown. My edges are here. As you can see, you guys, they're back.
Yes.
I have my afro.
What did we do? What did you do?
Well, I did maintenance. I oiled my hair. I took time with my hair, strand by strand. It's a lot. But you have to take time with your own hair. I mean, it's okay to wear other things. I love versatility. I love to wear other styles. But you have to have a healthy head of hair of your own. So it's very important to have integrity while dealing with your own head of hair. So that's for another time that we can discuss the ins and outs of taking care of your hair. But I just wanted you guys to see my hair that's back. I wish I could have shown you a picture or shot it on the screen of what it looked like before. You guys wouldn't believe it, but it's back and I'm very happy. I love wearing my afro, so I just want you guys to see. No, I'm not bald in the center.
What? She got that hair. She got hair.
I love it. Love it.
Okay. So that into the video that goes along with it, you know, this quarantine, is this quarantine teaching you? Has this quarantine taught us anything? I think it's taught me a lot. I was very horrible with routines and scheduling and all that, but we have nothing but time. Where have we been? We've been at home. Of course, if you're doing the smart thing, staying home, we've had nothing but time. So she's gotten her edges. I'm learning about, you know, even just taking the time to do my hair, putting on lotion and stuff. How about that? Because we got time. We don't have nothing but time. So that's a beautiful thing. This quarantine has taught me to just do the small things. Doing the small things helps to build towards something and get the results that you're looking for at the end of the day when we get down to it. What have you been doing? Have you become self-sufficient in this thing? Like some people, they might not know how to do their hair. What have we had to do in order to learn how to do things? Get on YouTube. We haven't had nothing but time, so we've been on YouTube learning. Look at this. She pulling out the tutorials. This is what we've been doing. Crocheting. I made some masks. Look at this. With the filter. You see that? Put a filter up in there. Filter pocket. Is it cute? Isn't it cute? Isn't that cute? Got this one. Gonna match the colors with the outfits. We gotta make some more.
That's
Yes.
Yes. Watermelon.
Yes. And So even the kids are making masks. The children are being creative. They made their own. The children are making scarves and things like that. So I mean, we are just in here doing things that we were doing before, but not as much as we are doing now. I mean, there's no reason to say that you're bored. And then I think of it like this. Okay, the things that we were able to do freely, those things we were taking for granted. Those things we were like not wanting to do as much, but now we desire to do them so much more. We want to go outside all the time now because we are supposed to be in quarantine inside, but now we want just to go outside all the time. But before we were staying inside. So it's just a trick of the mind.
Absolutely.
I think it's just a trick of the mind. When you're told not to do something, you want to do it. But when you're told to do something, you don't want to do it. It's just like a diet. I was talking to my sister earlier, and I was telling her, I said, when we say we're going on a diet or something, you want those things that you're not supposed to have. But when you're not on a diet, you can go without those things. But it's a mind game, a mind trick, you know. So it's all in your mind if you really look at it.
We ain't gonna go there on that.
But if you
things we can't have but be wanting, we ain't gonna go there. We're gonna leave that for another segment.
yeah.
So another thing we want to talk about on this pandemic quarantine edition is I woke up like this. The real raw truth, guys. We're not going to sit here and, fluff your feathers or anything. We want to tell the truth about how we've really been doing, because it's really important when you're used to doing something and you're not able to do it, to really get in contact and get to know what you're feeling and your emotions and things like that. So how have you been feeling during this quarantine when you wake up every day, your daily, feelings and emotions? How have you been?
Well, as for me, I can truly say I've been thankful. I've been grateful. I wake up and the first thing I do is I pray. And I thank God for waking me up, first of all, because He didn't have to do it, but He did. And so I'm grateful and I'm thankful just to be in this time, to see this, all going forward, because we're blessed. We're really blessed. Not to go to church on you guys, but we're really blessed to be right here where we are right now. So I'm just gonna say that I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and I just wake up in worship every day because I didn't have to be here. And if you would have seen, if you know where I've been, you'd say the same thing.
Absolutely. Me, for myself, just being real and raw, my days have been sometimes up and down. And there's really no real reason as to why I've been down, because I'm not a person that is in the streets or always gone or up and doing things all the time. I had a job before this, and that was my little getaway. But, I'm happy to be at home with my kids, happy to know that I'm safe and they're safe and that I'm not bringing anything home to them. But just truthfully, some days I'll wake up and I'm really happy, I'm giddy. And sometimes that's due to the coffee. But, I am also just grateful and thankful. God has really taken care of me and just shown Himself wonderful in my life during this time. Because like I said, I was working, making a check, and all of a sudden money is just coming here, there, and everywhere. My family sent money to me in the mail, getting checks in the mail. That make anybody happy. So other than that, I'm just happy that my children are safe, they're alive, and that I can see my family. And I have someone here to talk to every day. And so for the most part, I've been okay. Every now and then I might, because every now and then you look at the news, you might get sad, or someone that connected to you through other people might have passed during this time. That might make you a little sad because it seems like it's hitting close to home. And you know, I might have to do that little rock myself. It's okay, it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. But for the most part, God has been good and He's been awesome. And He just awakened me and opened my eyes to the most important things in life right now, which is not taking family and time for granted. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Not, you know, too depressed, you know. And if you feel sometimes sadness coming over you, you just got to know what to do during those times, like turn on the music or just do something that makes you happy in that time.
Yeah, and now that she is on a depression, um, you have to be very careful with that because you can slip into a depression and not know it.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, I'll put my story out there because I slipped into a depression and I didn't know it. My mother, it was around the time my mother was sick, and still get emotional with that now. Um, my mother was sick and she had months to live. And then the time came that she passed on. I checked out. I checked out of reality. I checked out, and I don't know what went on. So life was just life going past me, you know, and it was, I couldn't tell you what it was. I couldn't tell you the days. I just was there.
Mm-hmm.
I just was going day by day.
Mm-hmm.
So no one told me that I was doing these. You just going through the motions. My family would be there, but I would be in my room. I would see them. I would come out my room. Sometimes to eat. Sometimes I would barely eat, and I was just going through a depression because that's how I was dealing with it. So everybody deals with depression differently. Maybe you just isolate yourself. Maybe you surround yourself with people and go through the motions and smile and act like everything is okay and never talk about things. But maybe you do talk about things in a joking manner. Maybe you do something else. I don't know. Maybe you drink. Maybe you go pray and feel like nothing's happening. I don't know what you do, but what I did was isolate myself from everything, everybody. And when I came about to know that I was in depression, my pastor had to take me aside. He took me in the back room, in the back, in his office at church. I was attending church service because I was still living life, but I was going through the motions. I was still going through the actions of life. And I was going to church, and I thought everything was okay. I think I thought everything was okay because like I said, I didn't know what was going on. I was just doing. I was just doing what I usually did. And so I went to church one morning, and my pastor called me to the back, and which he never does. And I thought I was in trouble or something as a grown woman, you know, because he never calls me back there, but he called me back there and asked me how I was doing. And tears immediately started to fill my eyes. He asked me how the family was doing, where everybody was at, because he knew my mother had passed, you know. And so he told me that until I took my mother out of the place of God, that I wouldn't be free of what I was going through because I was in a depression. He said God would heal me if I took my mother out of the place of God. So I had my mother where God was supposed to be. So I was in a deep depression over my mother leaving, and I didn't know I was holding her that close. So you can hold on to things that you don't know you're doing it. That's I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's like just so important that you know to put God first in your life at all costs. With this pandemic, put God first. Make sure you consult God with everything in your life, every aspect, everything you do, everything you say, everywhere you go. Put God first in your life.
That's
And
right.
every door will open
That's
that you
so
want
true.
to open.
That's so true.
Everything will happen for you that you want to happen. Do not give up hope. Do not give up on life, because this is not the end. Although it seems like it is not the end for you.
Yeah.
God has something for you to do. If it's witnessing, if it's talking to somebody, if it's giving somebody a friendly smile up under your mask, or they can see you smile, they can see your eyes smile. I mean, just treat somebody nice.
Yes.
During this time, because
Yes.
you never know what people are going through. Go ahead.
And just to tell you, she actually came in my home and told me that before we moved here, she told me that that's what she got told, and that helped open my eyes and to see, you know, that I was doing the same thing with my mother because she passed. And you can go years and years and years, and you're going through the motions, especially when holiday times come. You go into this deep, deep, deep sorrow, even to the point of suicidal thoughts, because you're missing this person so bad. But you're not supposed to do that. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve, but it's never okay to put a person in such a place to where they consume your thoughts in your mind to the point to where you don't want to live anymore. So I thank God for her telling me that. So that helped me put things into perspective so that I wouldn't get in depression parts like that in my life anymore. And I'm so grateful for that. That helped me a whole lot tremendously, because that's the one person that raised me. And truly, I'm an orphan out here because I don't have my father or my mother. Both of them are gone. And so it's good to have someone to talk to, and it's good to have someone to help you understand those things. So sometimes you have to go search out and seek out help. God sent help to me, and so that you can put some things into perspective in your life, so you don't have to keep going in the same motions every time. So I'm just so grateful for that. So yes, I mean, if you need to cry during this pandemic, during this time of quarantine, cry. If you need to cry, just cry. Do what you need to do to be okay. If you don't understand, because we don't understand everything that's going on, we don't understand from day to day. If we walk outside, if we're okay, if the air is right, if if we can walk out and just come back in the house, we don't know moment for moment. If you walk past somebody, is that going to be your end? We just don't know, because this is the times we're living in right now. I don't know if I go to the store, if I'm coming back home from the store. So it's normal to feel like the uncertainties. But when we know we have God, we know He's on our side. He's kept us. I worked in the store before, things got real bad. But when they first started talking about this whole thing, I was trying to tell and alert my, managers and employees, and some they were just shucking it off like it was nothing, until boom, now everybody is buying up all the toilet paper, and you seeing people coughing and sneezing, and you like, oh God, you just don't know. And so all of this is going on while we didn't have masks and gloves. So we know it is nothing but God that has kept us thus far, and it's still keeping us, because we just don't know. And so we're just so grateful for just that.
And then like Pastor says, and I say also, I agree with him wholeheartedly. We live in an uncertain world, but we know our God is for certain. He is certain.
Yes.
We serve a certain God. He can do the impossible. When these things seem impossible with man, there's nothing impossible with God. All things are possible with God, because God is on our side, like she said. If God be for us, who can be against us? No weapon formed against us shall prosper.
Right.
No weapons. They say this is formed somewhere in the lab, but no weapons formed shall prosper. So God is protecting us. God is keeping us. And we know that. So all we have to do is do our part. Stay safe. Stay inside. Keep our mask on. Keep our children safe. Our children get upset that they can't go outside, ride their bikes, play with other kids. Oh, okay, that's normal for them to feel like we can't play with the other kids. We can't play outside. We can't do this. We can't do that. Okay, they're children. We were children once too. We wanted to do this and that, but we have to guard our children. We have to keep them covered up. and do what thus says the Lord. The
Yes.
Lord says, abide by the laws of the
Yes.
land.
Use wisdom.
You know, He gave us the wisdom and knowledge. He gave us the tools to do what we need to do. So we can use those tools according to what's right in this land.
Yes.
You know, we're in this world, but we're not of this world.
That's right.
So we have to do what we have to do, you know.
Yes.
So we're using wisdom here, and we hope you all are too, staying safe, you know, keeping your hope and believing in God, and, you know, keeping your faith. So we just wanted to share with you guys a little bit today, and hope you guys share back with us.
Keep watching.
All right.